Okay, so somebody in the comments recognized, not that we're trying to hide it, but they kind of recognized how cheap we are. Because, you know, in the last video, my mom was in Whole Foods and she was saying, oh my God, the asparagus is so expensive. I buy it for so cheap. It's so stupid. And yeah, I thought we could talk about this. This is an interesting subject to talk about, being cheap. Or, I mean, we make fun of ourselves all the time. We call ourselves like cheap Jew. I know that can be like a bad thing, but we just kind of make fun of it because we are cheap, like extremely. And you're a witness to that.
Yeah.
But like with good intentions behind it, there's a very good reason why we're cheap. And I thought we would talk about that in this holiday season, because it's also a consumerism season.
Yeah.
Or it's been made to be like that. So
I used to spend a lot of money on many things, okay, and expensive things when I was working. When I met you and...
oh shit! Wait, I realized our fireplace is frozen. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know why it glitched like that.
It's okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I learned how to be more careful with the way I was spending money because, you know, you influenced me. You were very careful. Every time we would go out and do some shopping, you would ask me, do you really need this? Look, this is very expensive. You would make me think more about, you know, I should really spend money on this, all right? So I learned a lot from that. But at the same time, it's important. I didn't lose that sense of buying quality stuff, because there is a difference between being cheap, a cheap buyer versus a smart buyer. And cheap consumer is like going for something cheap that it will last you. Like you don't want to spend so much for a product, so you buy a product that will last you from here to, I don't know, Christmas. Like in a month is already broken. So that is being a cheap consumer, I guess.
I don't know, I guess. I mean, I'm just cheap. I don't know if I'm a smart consumer or cheap. I'm just cheap. And there's a good reason for that, because I don't make a lot. And, you know, I want to save money more than I spend money. That's always my thing. And I feel like we live in a very... like everything in this society is encouraging people to buy more, spend more, you know, and contribute to the economy and all of that. Now, I don't know much about the economy, but I just know that for myself, for my own economic reasoning, I try not to spend money on something that I don't need. I think that money is like energy, because to make money, you have to give your energy, you have to give your time, you have to give a piece of you, right? And in return, you get this money. And if you're just spending it here and there, you know, whether it's on things you just want or things you don't really need, but you're going to get it anyway because you think you need it, you're wasting that energy. And then you're going to be depleted. You're not going to have enough when you really need something or really want something. And then you might go into debt. And then to pay off the debt, you have to give so much more of yourself, so much more of your energy and time. And in the end, you know, that's why I guess they have retirement pension plans and stuff, because you run yourself to a point where you can't give any more of yourself to get the things, you know, you need. So it's really important for me. It's always been important not to waste my energy on things I don't need.
For me, it's I don't know, it's a bit different. If I want to experience like a very good brand of tea, for instance, I will buy something that is quite expensive and just enjoy that experience. So I don't see really being cheap sometimes is like missing out of certain things in life. I understand, maybe I was a bit exaggerated before, but I was really spending a lot of money, but now I feel like I can strike a balance.
But what I was more talking about when I said, buying things you don't need is this whole idea that, buying this and that is going to make you feel happy. Having this much clothing and this much jewelry and this much, to the point where we become hoarders in our own homes, where we don't know where to put our own stuff, and you go out and you see something that speaks to you and your first instinct is, oh, I must take that home with me. But yeah, that's what I was more thinking about, like the minimalist approach. Yeah, that's why I don't like surprise Christmas presents, because I'm so terrified of getting something from somebody who I know they spent money on, and I'm like, oh no, they're so sweet for buying this, but what do I do with it? Like, it's just gonna take up space in my little place, and I don't want clutter, and I don't want more stuff. That's why I only want what I need.
Yeah.
What I'm saying.
And I'm different again here because
Why?
because for me is surprise is already in itself a moment of joy. Like I'm surprised with something, and especially if it's actually something that this present was felt by the person who is giving it to me. And so the surprise is even more, because there is something that you can feel through the present, that it was felt, and it was just a present, just because, okay, it's Christmas, this person has to give me a present, and it's a duty almost, right? And you can kind of feel that there is an energy that the present, that box that contains the object holds, and you can feel it. However, the factor of surprise is exciting to me. It's absolutely exciting. So then, in the end, whatever is in the box, I don't care.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's just about the surprise?
In the way, yeah.
That's such a childlike approach. Oh.
Yeah.
So you don't really care if it's expensive, or if
I just don't care. Just the moment of opening the box and not knowing what's inside, and maybe being surprised if that person, in a way, knew what I needed, or knew what would make me happy to see, or just was able to see inside of me and see what, it's like, when you go around, sometimes it's not Christmas time and you want to buy, and you don't want to buy a present for anybody, but then you see something and say, oh my God, this would be so great to give it to this so-and-so person, right? Mm-hmm. And that is really the moment when people should buy presents, and then make a surprise out of it, because then it's going to be something, and yeah.
Or you can make something.
Absolutely. I'm not saying that they have to buy it. Even making it is even more, there is more into it, when it's handcrafted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just find like this whole thing of having so much stuff that you don't know what to do with it, and it's running your life. I let go of that long time ago, where I will wear a pair of pajama pants until it's ripped apart, and then I'll be like, oh, I need a new pair now, and then I'll go and purchase something. Like same thing with all my stuff, really.
Yeah.
I'll use it until it's absolutely dead. There's a pair of Uggs I've been using since I was 15, and they're still kind of alive, so I'm holding on to them, but that's like a 10-year-old pair of Uggs, okay? Heavily used.
For me, I don't need to reach the hole at the bottom or some kind of rip.
But I take pride in that. That's my pride. That's my mark.
For me, it's like I'm done with something. I'm done with something, and it belongs to the... And usually when I travel, I always leave something I'm done with behind.
This is my pet peeve. It's horrible. Like we were... Oh my God, can I say? We were on Maui, and you left behind your Crocs, which you've been wearing every single day. It's the most useful thing you own. And now, a couple of years later, you're like, Should I buy Uggs?
But I was done with those hugs. I had to leave something
No,
behind.
sorry, Crocs.
Crocs, sorry.
Uggs, Crocs.
Sorry.
You had the Crocs.
Yeah, Crocs. I was done with those Crocs so much, and I
Why?
needed to leave them behind. It was done. I was done with them. Then I buy new ones, and I will start a new life. For me, objects start taking a life of their own, and I don't know, I attach some meanings. I don't know what it is. They hold a spirit inside, right? And I left a pair of amazing leather boots behind in Utah when I was filming a documentary. Yes, but they were old according to me. If you look at them, they were in a good shape. But I was done. I was totally done.
I didn't know about that.
I'm gonna leave them behind. It's not the only. Yeah.
Oh my god. I want you to think about like this way. If you spend let's say you go to a store one day and you spend $20 and you're like, oh wow, this thing is so cheap, it was only $20, and you spend that $20, and the next day you spend $20 on something else, and this is like besides food and everything, because food is an essential, the only essential you have to spend money on, and also rent. But anyway, the non-essential spending, okay, it's $20 a day. What happens in 1 month? 20 times 30, that's $600. $600 a month on just non-essential crap that will you really use it, or did you just buy it because it was on sale? That's my pet peeve, is that $600 could have been put aside for a rainy day. I'm kind of like a squirrel with money. Like, if I have it, I hide it. But that's just my way of doing things, and yeah, it works for me, because when I need it, I have it, and then I can use it for something that I really need. Oh, this is an interesting question. If you were ever really rich, like rich enough that you don't have to think about money, how would you be? Would you be the same, or would you be different?
Well, I know for sure that I want to keep very minimalist. I don't want to hoard too much my place with stuff I don't need. But for sure, I would always, everything, if I had to go out and buy something, some items, not too many items like wardrobe, clothing, stuff like that, I would for sure go for the most expensive things. If I had to buy a sweater, I would go for the most expensive one.
Just for the brand or for the quality?
Not for the brand, for the quality.
Okay, so real wool.
Exactly, I want to have something that is 100% wool. And not so many, like I would just wear them until I'm done with them. I cannot say until they wear out. Until I'm done with them. And it can be a long time, because I can hold onto items in a very dear way.
Don't worry, when you're done with them, I'll take over.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
I always inherit.
Sometimes we exchange, because I'm done with something, she's done with something. I'm gonna wear that. So how about you?
If I was rich enough that I don't have to think about anything, I think I would still be like you, minimalist, because I don't want to be surrounded by so much clutter. I just see it as clutter. I don't see it as stuff anymore. I see it as clutter. I want to be minimalist, just the things I need. I would definitely feel really comfortable buying the good quality stuff, like you said. Like, even now, I never buy polyester stuff anymore, only cotton. But yeah, that would be nice to have the freedom to also buy the wool stuff and all that. But the one thing I would is, I think I would spend a lot of money on where I'm living, like real estate. Well, that's about it. Tell us your thoughts about money, spending money, saving money, and Christmas. Just share with us what your philosophy is around that whole topic, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.